Over the last 12 hours, we've seen temperatures hang out in the low 60s. We dropped to around 59 degrees around 12 a.m. That's the lowest temperature that we saw. But what I really wanted to point out with that is that all of these temperatures here were pretty much within a degree or so of the dew point, really starting around 11 p.m. That's when we started to see fog develop. Now, the difference between the dew point and the temperature is something known as dew point depression. And when we start to see it around 2 degrees, 1 degree, especially with lower winds, that's when we start to raise concern for some fog developing. And that is what we saw tonight. Yeah, that is what we saw tonight, and that is what we are seeing right now. Corpus Christi registering with a quarter-mile visibility, same with the Naval Air Station in Flower Bluff. Really, the densest part of the fog is along the coast, but Falfurrias, Hebbronville also registering super low with that fog this morning. So the bottom line is, if you don't need to go out, don't go out. But if you do, leave plenty of space between you and the person in front of you. Well, you may not even be able to see that person in front of you. So just drive slower, definitely the speed limit, maybe even slower than that, and use your fog lights or your low beam lights this morning. Now, I do think that around 9 a.m. is when we'll start to see a break in some of that fog. It's starting to dwindle in terms of its coverage, and this is why I think our dew points hover around the low 60s to around 65. So as soon as we can get warmer than that and we build up our wind speeds greater than 5 miles per hour, that's when we're going to start to see that fog go away. But we could see some areas that hold on to that fog as late as noon, but those clouds will really go away as we get into those early afternoon hours. We'll see a front push through, but we won't see the full effects of the front really until tomorrow morning. So we'll warm up into the 80s today with some sunny skies. We haven't really seen some fully sunny skies in a while, so it will be nice to see. But this is the cold front I was mentioning. It's going to make its way through Texas today, and as it moves through the coastal bend in the early afternoon, it is going to funnel this dry air here represented by the brown contour into the coastal bend. Those dew points are going to start dropping really this evening. But what I wanted to point out is that today our winds are pretty normal, 9-10 miles per hour through the afternoon, but as we get into the evening, that's when they start to increase around 20 miles per hour, gusting towards 25-30 miles per hour. So if you're out late, it's definitely going to be windy. This is also something to note for mariners or those who are planning to head out on the boat either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, because there is a small craft advisory. Now, by tomorrow morning early around 7 a.m., our winds will have died down just a little bit, sustained around 15, I think, but that's going to add another element to this morning low of around 45 degrees. So it could feel even colder if we're still seeing those northerly winds packing a punch at around 15 miles per hour. But as you can see, as we go on throughout the week, we will have a gradual increase back into the 80s. We'll mainly see this northwesterly flow, and that's going to keep us pretty dry throughout the week, as we'll see some sinking air. We will see a couple of short waves here that may provide some energy, but we'll be so dry behind this front that really no precipitation is going to develop. And then you can see this high developing off to the west. That's all going to help keep us dry and very sunny throughout the rest of the week. But what you need to know today is that it's going to be warm after this fog clears, and then we'll be back needing our winter coat tomorrow morning. Lexus?